Shannon. We're going to talk about you today. Woo! Good morning. It's the Andie Summer Show with Jeff Kirkchin,
Hello.
Donnie, and our girl, Shan. Mm-hmm. Shannon is single. I'm not going to say and ready to mingle because that's too dorky. But we usually don't talk about your dating life.
No.
And now we're so excited about it.
This is insane. And I don't even know. I really don't love talking about the regular dating life.
Yeah.
But this I have to
this
bring
is
up
cool.
because I don't know what to do.
So there was a development last week because you got matched up with a couple of guys on Hinge. So take us back to last week and then bring us up to date.
Okay. So for the sake of keeping their names anonymous, I'll go by celebrity names.
Okay.
So
As we do.
yes. So I matched with a guy, Brad Pitt, we'll say.
Okay.
And he
Sounds appealing.
Yes. And, he graduated from Villanova Law School, and
Amazing.
he lives in a neighborhood nearby called Manayunk.
Okay.
So those are things I learned about him. No second date, no follow-up. All right, that's fine. Matched with another guy the following week from the same neighborhood as Brad Pitt. We'll call this guy Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise is from the same neighborhood as Brad Pitt, and he also just graduated Villanova Law School. So then I started thinking, and I remembered that on the date with Brad Pitt, he told me his roommates' names. And he said, yeah, my roommate, Tom Cruise.
Wow.
So then when I go on a date with Tom Cruise, he's like, hey, it's Tom Cruise. I'm texting you so that you know it's me.
Yeah. So we talked about this on
table
Friday,
roommates.
and the big question was, Shannon has this date coming up with Tom Cruise this past Sunday. Does she say something? Like, how do you play it?
Right,
or do you
right.
keep this up? So what did you do?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
And it was so hard. You get a drink in me, I'm like, here is every single secret that I know.
It's true.
Good to know about
So
Shannon.
true.
To the point where I was like, yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. And I texted my friend. I'm like, do I say something? And she's like, no, don't. And I was like, okay, yep, thank you. But he walked me home. And as he was walking me home, he was like, yeah, blah, 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 telling this story. My roommates who I went to college with, blah, 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 blah. And I am walking side by side with him, like holding my breath. Like, is this when I say it? No. Nope. Just let it go.
Yeah, like what? How
Let
would
it
you
go.
even bring it up? Like, oh, actually, I just went out with one of them last week.
Yeah. So
Right.
now there's a second date with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. So the
Shan.
mission's not impossible.
Nice,
There you
Donnie.
go. So do I bring it up
On
now?
the second day.
I mean, I feel like you have to now, right? Like, you
Right.
can't if you think there's a future here, you can't let it go any farther than this.
So here's my plan, and I want your opinion on this. He does stand-up comedy, so he is a funny guy, right?
Which
Right.
is something Shannon loves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, okay, when it comes up naturally, not just out of the blue, like,
Right.
hey, here's this fact, I'll say, you're going to think this is so funny. And I'm just going to tell him already how he's going to think about it. And tell it as a funny story, not like, hey, and I have something awkward to say.
No,
Right,
you
no,
can't
yeah,
lead into
no.
it like
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't do that.
yeah.
And
yeah.
I think he'll think it's funny. Best case scenario, he also knows. And he's like, thank God you said
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Because I figured that out too. And now we're, okay with it. We're both okay with
Well,
it.
something that you two ladies talked about is how men just don't discuss these kind of things and how ladies share every detail. I'm going on a date with a guy named Mike and da-da-da-da-da, and here's
Right.
what he looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
I still firmly believe these guys have not communicated.
doesn't know.
So you're
Interesting.
going to break the news, but I think in the way that you're doing it, it's fantastic, spectacular strategy.
And I'll say this too. So the date with Brad Pitt, it was a coffee date. And I was talking to some people last night about it, and they were like, that's not a date. Just say you got coffee with him and kind of even
Yes.
de-escalate it even
100%.
more.
But you were matched with him.
I was.
Yeah.
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 But no, like, it was not romantic. There was no physical touch or
Right.
kiss or anything, which is also great.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right,
that
right.
is kind of like, I knew him for 48 hours
Yeah.
and then I didn't.
Yeah.
And now I know you.
And I don't think that you need to be awkward about it.
No.
This is just real life. It happened.
Yeah.
You know, you
Especially
haven't
in the
talked to
dating
him
app
since
era.
then. There's been no communication since then.
Right.
This
Exactly.
it's not a big deal. But it
Yes.
is something that you can't share with him in 3 months after you guys are getting really serious. And then, by the way, here's something I haven't been telling you.
Right.
Or what if I went to his apartment?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, Brad.
yeah.
I brought you coffee.